I'm using my mud trowel here to identify areas that have lumps or valleys. And as you can see, this area right here slumped while it was hardening, and it created a bump on the wall. So we're going to need to get rid of that before we can move forward. I'll identify all the areas in the room like that right after this. Alright, so what you actually see me doing here is taking this little chisel and I'm chiseling away at the Durabond 90. It's been sitting here for a few days now and it's cured, and like I said, it's as rock solid as concrete. However, it's slumped a little bit, so I've got a little bit of a bulge in the wall right here. So all I'm going to do is chisel it out, and I can refill over the top of it with more Durabond 90 or even regular joint compound if I want to. So let me get this a little bit smoother and we'll move on. One more quick thing that you should take note of is that even though I'm chiseling this with a hammer and chisel, it's not cracking everything I put up there. It's literally chipping off pieces that I'm trying to remove. That's how good this Durabond 90 really is. This video is not intended to be a how-to video, but more of a showcasing video, showcasing the work on the transformation of this powder room. I hope you appreciate this 4-screen split shot, because rather than show you me mudding and taping all the seams, I split it up into 4 screens here and sped everything up just to show you how it was getting done. Now, like I said earlier, this video is more about showcasing my work rather than a do-it-yourself how-to video. I have plenty of videos for that in the library, and I suggest you take a look at some of them. Some of them are quite interesting and some have some humor in it. But this is me taping. Now let's move on to the next step of the project. I promise I'm not going to bore you with watching me feather in all these seams, but I do want to point out something that is a little important if you're going to try to do some of this yourself. Every time you do a corner, you should only do 1/2 of that corner. So like on the other side of the wall, I did the ceiling. On this side, I'm doing the underside, but not the ceiling. And if you alternate that with each wall, you can sand it the next time you go in there after it's all dry and do the opposite side. You get really good, crisp, clean corners that way. Now it's time to add the top molding known as the chair rail. Alright, so now I'm using this Bosch laser measure, which I absolutely love. You just place the back end of it up against the wall, put the laser on the other end of where the trim's going to end, hit the button, it locks it in. 5 foot, 4 1/4 inches. Perfect every time. For those of you that might be interested in this, it's a Husky brand that I purchased from Home Depot. It's a digital angle finder. And when you close the 2 pieces of rulers together and turn it on, it zeroes it out. All you do is just place it in the corner, and that's a little difficult with one hand holding the camera, but you put it in the corner, spread out both rulers, and the gauge will show you it is 92.5 degrees. This just means I'll set my miter saw to 46 degrees. Don't worry about that 0.25. It isn't going to make that much of a difference. So my father used to say, a whole lot of caulk and a whole lot of paint will make a carpenter what he ain't. Now that's not my philosophy and that's not how I do business, but I thought I'd share that because it's kind of comical. So what I did was I took that second piece and I put an inside 46-degree angle on the left-hand side of it, just so I can put them on the wall here and make sure everything matches up properly. Once I know everything fits properly, I'll measure and cut the next piece. put this piece on. I won't tack it here because we're going to need to cut it so the trim can come by it. We'll cut it with one of those oscillating tools. So we'll let it run along and we'll cut it afterwards after we get this trim. We don't have it right now. Same with this side. Won't tack it right here. We'll tack it over here past this line that represents the width of casing trim. So we've got 1, 2, 3 more pieces to cut. There was a gaping hole there, remember that? It's coming out nicely. Durabond is great stuff. To ensure the best product available for my customer, I always check and make sure that everything I put up is plumb and level. Here I'm just double checking with the level to make sure everything's accurate before firing it into place. For the best fit possible when it comes to molding and base trim, cut it 1/8 of an inch longer than the measurement you took and kind of bend it into place. That's what I'm doing here. Now, I still have to fasten it with nails, but you look, it'll pretty much hold itself there. Oh, there it is, guys. All the chair rails up, one piece of corner molding in. I even caulked most of it. Drywall's drying, but it won't be dry enough today to finish that or put a second coat on. All the white is dry, all the gray is still wet. You can see I alternated. I did the ceiling on one side and the wall on the other. And like I said, we'll sand that down and we'll do the opposing side next time. This stick down tile will leave a sticky residue on the floor. So until which time I actually have to remove the toilet, I'm going to leave it down in front of the toilet so my client doesn't have to step on a sticky floor just to go to the bathroom. Alright, that's it, guys. This is the end of part 2 in the 5-part series. As you can see, we've got all of the chair rail up. We've got the drywall that we could do today completed. We've got the tile pulled up. And when we come back, we're going to continue on this project. I hope you're enjoying it. If you haven't watched part 1, I invite you to do so. I also have plenty of other videos that are entertaining to watch, so I welcome you to do that, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.